Shalom, Yasharala, Kal HALALYAM, La YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and taught us this truth through the Spirit. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the sincere Akim wa Akwatiam, listening and learning and being doers of the word, to the speckled bird that look like the other nations but are really Yasharala, and to the Akim that are making their bodies a living sacrifice in these last days. Shalom. I wanted to go into a quick topic that I've been thinking about for the past few days, because I've been watching The Walking Dead. It was my first time watching it, starting from the beginning, and we came to this part with where they were following this girl named Lizzie. You know, if you watch The Walking Dead, you already know what part I'm talking about, right? Lizzie, Carol, they had Tyrese with the baby Judith, and Lizzie's sister Mika. So now this part is crazy, and it took me a while, but I realized, because The Walking Dead, if you haven't seen it, it's a very spiritual show. You know, if you've already seen it, you know, this is obviously a post-apocalyptic series, a post-apocalyptic setting. You know, people trying to survive. You know, there's what they call the walkers or biters or rotters, which are basically just zombies. It's a very spiritual show. I recommend that you brothers and sisters, if you haven't seen it, watch it with a spiritual lens on. Or if you have seen it, maybe you should rewatch it again, because you're going to catch stuff that you haven't caught before, you know? So with this part, with this little bitch Lizzie, this little Edomite Lizzie, if you guys don't know who Lizzie is, here she go right here. Okay. Clearly an Edomite girl. Like I said, she has an Edomite sister that's not as bad as she is, but she's still an Edomite. She was still crazy in certain parts too. But the focus is on Lizzie, because I realized that Lizzie represents the 2/3. Okay? Like how they had house Negroes and field Negroes back then. She would be a house Negro. But the difference is, now we may have, you know, house Negroes, but in a sense, when you look at the average Israelite, we're all field Negroes. All right, there's only a couple house Negroes that are, you know, near the elite's feet, maybe with celebrities or politicians. But ultimately, we're all field Negroes. Like, it's not that obvious anymore. You know, there's not that obvious of a distinction. So with all of us being field Negroes, now the house Negroes, or the coons, you know, like they always say, the chains, the shackles are in our minds now, rather than physically on us, which really, when you think about it, it's worse, you know, because the house Negroes today can't even see that they are field Negroes. They're still considered, you know, trash, 1/3 of a human. You know, they're still killing us left and right, you know, still snatching us up, kidnapping our children, you know, through legislation, being racist and oppressing us. And the house Negroes of today can't see that. Like that other Jake in that other video, Jake prefers integration over rulership. He doesn't even see what's going on. Or they'll see it and they'll still be like, well, it's gotten better, you know? And this and that, blah, blah, blah. So she would be a 2/3 that is just crazy. Like, you 2/3 suffer from some kind of mental instability and insanity to believe that Esau does not hate your guts and does not have that perpetual hatred like he did from the beginning. Okay? The 2/3 are insane, just like Lizzie was. Alright? Spoiler alert. Her fate is just like the fate of you 2/3, but that was like a way more tame version of it. Ultimately, she had to die. She's a liability. She's gonna get in the way. Yeah, she's a kid, but you know. And that's one thing I noticed about the children in this show, is that they talk like adults. You know, but they're excused because they are children physically. But in her spirit, she had the spirit of a full-grown demon, a full-grown Shedamite. You know. And I'm gonna get into all that, but I want to start with 1 Timothy 4:1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. Now this is speaking about brothers and sisters falling out of the faith, but you know, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, that's something that, you know, the 2/3 are doing now, you know. So basically they're just, the ones that fall out are just becoming a part of the 2/3. So ultimately it goes into the 2/3 regardless. Alright, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with hot iron. Alright, that means you cannot be changed. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, as the scriptures say in Ecclesiastes. Alright. Now Lizzie, she herself was a hypocrite. Alright, like I said, she was talking as if she was grown, and she had all these ideologies and philosophies ingrained in her already. As soon as her dad died, you could see something snapped. You know? She was acting all hard and tough, but she's a hypocrite. She couldn't even handle she couldn't handle herself when push came to shove. I said puss. When push came to shove, she became that. You know what I mean? You know? So she couldn't handle herself, but she was acting all hard and tough. Kind of like these fake ass pro-black people that say one thing, but their actions say another. You know? They don't really care about their people, because they go and swirl, as they call it. They get with the Edomite man or Edomite woman. You know? They still mess with Esau's legislation, his school systems. You know? They hate their brothers and sisters, or they might kill their brothers and sisters. And they still side with Esau in a lot of ways. They still trust in his systems. So they're hypocrites. Alright, and like I said, their conscience is seared with a hot iron, meaning they cannot be changed. It's deeply rooted in their minds. Alright? And the scriptures speak about this happening to them, or them being this way, in 2 Thessalonians 2:10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. Alright? And that's what the 2/3 are into, a strong delusion. Alright? And it was sent from YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI. He's letting you know that he's the one that gave them over unto this, because of how wicked they are. So he gave them a strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. And in so-called liberation, we can't get any kind of liberation in Babylon. Micah, I believe 2:10 says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest." Okay? the land is polluted, it's going to pollute you too. Okay? Because it's Babylon's wine everywhere. We're not going to get anything here. We're just going to, you know, deal with more struggles and hardships. Esau's going to keep on giving us hell no matter what position we're in. And he's still going to hate us no matter what. No matter who you sleep with, for these new age blacks, or whatever they want to call themselves. It doesn't matter how many white women you quote unquote slay, how many Edomite rods you freaking ride. Esau's still going to hate you. He's still going to call you an N-word like they do while they're having sex with your dumb ass. He's still going to, you know, be violent with you. He's still going to talk about you, badmouth you, laugh at you, and he doesn't care about you. And our people don't understand this because they have a strong delusion. This is Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, which is what our people do. Our people are doing when it comes to Esau, Edom. Okay? Because you can't say the system is broken and it was never meant for us, but still try to play the system, or play with the system, or play with the creators of the system, or the beneficiaries of the system, and think you're going to get somewhere. Okay, that's hypocrisy. That's a contradiction. That's insanity. Just like Lizzie was. There's something wrong with your brains. You guys have a dysfunction going around with you 2/3. Okay, she was feeding animals to the walkers. Now, there's something in science that speaks about children being cruel to animals at a young age, and basically those are like early signs of a psychopath, you know. So she was literally insane, you know. So she was feeding the zombies animals, rats. She got a bunny and mutilated the hell out of it and pinned it to a board, you know. She was torturing animals. She was feeding live animals to the walkers, to the zombies, you know. What else did she do? She tried to kill the little Shedemite baby. She tried to literally suffocate it, you know, smother it with her hand. That's what this photo is from. I like it how it's the first photo that pops up. That's where this photo is from. You can see in her, look at her face. Like, this bitch is a demon. And you 2/3 are demons. You're just like her. And what are you gonna, you're ultimately gonna be a liability to the ones that really want true liberation. The men of the Lord and their families. Okay? To the ones that want to actually get out of here, you're a liability because you're like Lot's wife. You keep on looking back. Matter of fact, you haven't even left. You know? Your mind is still stuck on Babylon and what Esau has to offer. And you would kill your brother or your little, you know, sister before you even thought about leaving this place. This bitch will do this to a baby, a child, a helpless, harmless little Shedemite that can't defend herself. Her fellow Shedemite. Alright, that's why I liken her to you 2/3. Because you replace this with a nigga woman, for example. Eve, right? The wicked Israelite women. They go and get abortions. She tried to abort this baby because she was annoyed with it crying or something. You know? And Eve does the same thing. Maybe she might beat her child, put the child up for adoption for some pedophiles to have their way with them, let the little, the creepy ass uncle molest their daughter, You know, she'll go and whore herself out as if she needs the money, but really what is she spending it on? It's not benefiting the kids. And she shouldn't be whoring herself out anyway. But, you know, they don't care about their children. And there's a verse that says that she'll have an evil eye towards the children that she bears as well. You know? And I recently saw a video about Planned Parenthood and how it was created to reduce our population, the Israelite population. You know? They were talking about that on the news. And Edomites are just now realizing it. You know? But it's my body, my choice. Pro-choice. You know? It's just pure selfishness and wickedness. You know? I'm trying to think, what else did this little bitch do? Oh, she tried to kill Judith. She ended up killing her sister. She believes that the walkers are good. You know? She believes that she can trust the walkers and be friends with them. So she killed her sister in order for... Because when you die, regardless of how you die, because everyone's infected, regardless of how you die, you become a zombie when you come back. When you die, regardless of how you die, except for if your brain is destroyed, you're gonna come back as a zombie, as one of the walkers. Okay? And that's why she stabbed her sister in the stomach or something, killed her, and she wanted her to come back. And then when Carol and Tyrese came, she pulled her gun out on Carol, like, don't come any closer, you need to wait for my sister to come back to life. Because she wants to show them that, you know, the walkers are good, or some shit like that. And it was gonna, you know, well, she would have ran away. The walker would have gotten Judith. It would have came after Carol and Tyrese next. But her ass would have ran. Okay, that's more of that hypocrisy. Because she is scared of them. And just like when she was playing with one, actually, too, when Carol saved her, she was playing with one, clearly scared, tripping all over herself. Carol came and killed it, and then she started going off on Carol like a damn madman. You know? Which, yeah, man, these Edomites are crazy. But what it represents is how these 2/3 are trusting not only Babylon, but they're trusting Esau, especially. Okay? Let me read this. Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. She didn't even care about the living people with her. You know, she killed her own sister. She tried to kill Judith twice. She liked the walkers more than she liked actual living people. You know, and she was talking all tough, like, I know what this is all about. You know, it's gonna happen to everyone, and, you know. Meanwhile, she's too scared. She was too scared to issue the finishing blow on her dad when he got bitten. And she was too scared when they got attacked by walkers multiple times. But when they got raided, when the prison got raided by the what's his name, the governor's crew, she killed that woman, no hesitation. You know? And then later she said that she meant to shoot her somewhere else. She wasn't trying to shoot her in the head, because she wanted her to come back as a walker too. you know? So that bitch was a demon, you know? And the scripture is saying, you know, just because there's more of them or just because they're strong, woe to you that trust in them for those reasons. But it doesn't just go for those two specific reasons. It goes for anything. Just because you see the immediate benefits in Babylon right now, and we know that spiritually it's Sodom and Egypt. You see the immediate benefits now, but you're trusting in a lie and something that's ultimately going to kill you. Well, it's going to be a lot worse in these last days. It's going to torture you and then kill you. And more on how she was trusting them walkers and she wanted to be friends with them, like how these 2/3 trust Esau and Babylon. Alright, it says in Ecclesiastes 12, or Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach 12:10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay? It says never trust thine enemy, ever. Alright, you should never trust these damn so-called white men, women, and children. Never trust Esau. Because there's going to be a situation where he reveals his true nature. He's going to go out of his way to trouble you. You know, to get you into trouble. To get you hurt or killed or anything. And we've had countless examples. Brothers and sisters have countless anecdotes. And we have countless experiences throughout history and today. Alright. Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Alright. Once again, that which is crooked cannot be made straight. Alright. And now, like how she was feeding the walkers the animals and trying to befriend them, right? This is Ecclesiasticus, same chapter, 12, but I'm starting at the top. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it. So when you're doing good, you need to recognize who you're doing it to. So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Alright. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. Do good to godly men, and you're going to get rewarded. If not from him, then from YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. Alright? And needless to say, you 2/3 are selfish, because you take up after Esau. Really, you're following his ways, and you're drinking Babylon's wine. And we're not talking about giving offerings at the church, because the pastor's the same thing. The pastor's a damn snake. He's a damn 2/3. He's a liar, a deceiver, with his 501c3, like all these pastors are, like how IUIC is, TD Snakes, Eddie Long, whoever you want to name. Alright, David Lynn, Gene Kim. Well, he's a Moabite, but yeah, you get the picture. Yeah, they're just taking your money. Why not just give to brothers and sisters directly? You know? When you see a camp, you know, give them, you know, a little something. Buy them drinks or something. Like some coffee. Buy them, you know, some bread. You know, give them some money. Do it in like an envelope or something like that. I'm not saying that's what we're after, but if you really want to, give tithes, pay tithes or whatever, give alms, charity, do that. Help your brother buy his first car. Help your mom buy a house. Something like that, Stop wasting your money on these churches. Stop wasting your money on clubbing and drinking and smoking. We shouldn't be smoking anyway, or clubbing anyway, or drinking at a very high rate. There's many ways that you can give charity and not expect anything in return. That's what you guys should be doing. I'm not saying that we want donations, because we're not after donations. We don't want to take donations, but I'm saying that's what our people should be doing. Donate to the prophets, if anything. All right. Give to the godly man and help not a sinner. The zombies represent the sinners. Okay. Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread and give it not unto him. So you're not going to be blessed just giving to any homeless person you see, because they do spend it on drugs or drinks, crap they don't need. That's why they're still in the position that they're in. You should be giving to our people, brothers and sisters that are trying to do their best, but of course we struggle in Babylon, so we could use a little help here and there. That's what you should be doing. Hold back thy bread and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby, for else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him. And what happened when they were giving the walkers food? When Lizzie and her little dumbass Edomite friends were giving them food, feeding them rats and naming them and shit, to some damn zombies, just eating people, and you think that they're your friends? They piled up on the fence and they brought a fence down like twice. So they will overmaster you. They're gonna overthrow you. You keep on feeding a beast that desires nothing but to devour you. This is literal insanity. Like, you 2/3, this is what you're doing. In many ways, this is what you're doing. You're just giving Esau more and more. It's ridiculous, man. And that's what Esau does. He gives to celebrities and rich people that don't need anything. They give them free products and all types of shit, but they want to keep the poor, even of their own people. And I want to close out with Psalms 20:6. Now know I that the Lord saveth his anointed. He will hear him from his holy heaven with the saving strength of his right hand. All right. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we will remember the name of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, our power. They are brought down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. Save Yahawah, or Adawan. Let the King hear us when we call. And who's our King? Yahawashi. And he's going to deliver us from this captivity. Alright? When he returns. So, yeah, I hope the lesson was edifying. I pray the lesson was edifying. That, you watch anything you watch these shows with a spiritual mindset. Try to get different lessons out of it and relate it back to the scriptures, because these elites know what they're doing. They know what they're saying. They know what stories they're telling. And they know who we are. It's us that don't know. We don't know who we are. And that's why they're able to manipulate us and push all these lies out, and keep our people in the lowest state that they're in and take advantage of us. Okay? I recommend y'all watch The Walking Dead. It's a good show. There's a lot of lessons that you can get from it. I'll try to do more, and I pray that they're all edifying. So, with that, I want to give all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, Abad Babal, YAHAWAYAM, Wa, you 2/3, YAHAWAMYAM, especially you Edomites, Kwam Yasharallah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone that rule well and taught us this truth through the Spirit. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the speckled bird. Kwam Yasharallah.